Hello there everybody, how's it going? It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, coming to you on this Friday, September 22nd, 2023 with my next cross-stitching update, so my next weekly update. And I will admit that this is probably the 8th take of this introduction because apparently the struggle is not just when I don't film frequently, it's all the time. But anyway, welcome everybody, both my returning viewers as well as anybody who is new here and viewing my videos for the first time. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. On this channel I talk mostly about stitching. I do talk about books and knitting when it is pertinent. Today it's going to be all stitching, and it's going to be a fairly quick one because we have just the basics today, nothing extra. It's the whips I have worked on this week, the projects I have worked on. It is a little bit of plans and a very, very little bit of haul. Not a whole lot to talk about today. So we'll get you on to your next video pretty quickly. So before I get into everything though, I would just like to say a huge thank you to everybody who left comments on the last video. Thank you so much. I have read them as they've come in, but I haven't really combed through them, and I certainly haven't replied to any, and I haven't looked for any questions. So a Q&A segment will have to be next time. I say next time because I would love to be here next Friday. However, I have a dentist appointment next Friday afternoon, and so we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. I expect it's going to be more of a consult / scheduling of a legitimate appointment situation. If it becomes a legitimate appointment, then I'm not going to be able to film next week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you for your comments, and we'll do a Q&A segment next time if there are any questions that we need to go over. So let's jump in with the works in progress. Here at the forefront, I'm going to let you know that stitching this week was a little weird because I did get sick. It ended up not being anything super major. It wasn't like a major illness, but it was a cold. It was like a typical run-of-the-mill cold that took me and Baby Does Stuff out at the same time. And then my husband started getting sniffly and a scratchy throat later on in the week. Tested for the big COVID and negatives, just a seasonal thing. It felt like back to school crud, but since nobody here is back to school, it felt like an automatic kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, so we are all on the mend and feeling pretty good. I still have some sniffles occasionally, but nothing too severe, nothing major. Which I am thankful for. I'm super grateful to have not gotten major sick. So, the stitching has been light. That's what I meant to get with that. Stitching has been a little bit light, but nonetheless, I have 4 projects to show you, and I just realized that I forgot one, so there will be a break. Okay, anyway, so let's get started. The first project I have to show you lives in this project bag. This is by Jasmine's Custom Bags on Instagram and also on FlossTube. And I love this bag. And in here lives my Queen Mermaid. I think I've said this at least once in each of my last 4 videos or something like that. But anyway, so this is the Queen Mermaid. This is out of print. And this is one of the original versions that was done in 2000. It was one of the reprints in 2018, but this is one of the 2000 editions because I started it in 2016. So I finally got my rotation complete on this one. I don't think I did a ton of stitching that Friday after filming, but I did a little bit more to feel a little bit more satisfied with the end of the rotation finally. So this is a 32 count Belfast linen in As You Wish by Under the Sea Fabrics. And so here is where I got to. And I wish I had already ordered the beads because I'd like to do some beading. it occurred to me that I don't think I've done any beading this year, and I don't really have any coming up. Nothing significant. So anyway, neither here nor there. So I worked on the fin there, and I probably would have gone further, but I ran out of 369. So I was a little bit limited based on the colors that I have, but nonetheless, worked in this area here, and yeah, finally pleased with the progress. For a total of 7 days this year, I think I've done 26 or 2,700 stitches. So it's not great for the amount of time spent, but it's more progress than it has seen in some time, so I'll take it. I'll take it as a win. So that is Queen Mermaid, and you'll see the before and afters for the whole rotation here in September. Okay, so I spun the wheel while on video last week so that y'all could see what my next project was for WhipGo, and it pulled Soucis by Long Dog Samplers. So preview here of what this will look like finished. So I loaded this up on the frame, and I believe I spent 3 days on it, and I know I did the 1,300 stitches. I'm not sure, actually I can't remember if I went further than that. But this is on a 32 count Belfast linen in, my tag says blue ice, but I'm pretty sure that's like a typo. I'm pretty sure it's ice blue. But nonetheless, here is the progress that I made. And it's gonna wash out in the camera because we have some weather coming. There's it's not quite a tropical storm, but very nearly a tropical storm. Like it hasn't reached the point where it's named yet. But anyway, that's coming in, so the colors might look a little strange. So for instance, my fabric is bluer than you are seeing on the camera. But it doesn't even really matter because holy electric blue, Batman. That's a really, really standout color. It's a phenomenal color. I absolutely love DMC 995. Yeah, pretty gorgeous. So I'm out of $37.99, which is the color that I'm using for the borders. And then I'm using the electric blue for the things that are not border-like. So all of the animals and the flowers and things like that. But everything else will be in $37.99. So it looks like this is mostly $9.95, but I think it's really going to work out to be mostly $37.99. So with my long dogs, this year I have already restarted opening Gambit on 40 count. And I have Kinto Kuto and Ragnarok. Those are both on 40 count. And midway through this rotation, I wanted to switch to 40 count. If I had a pale blue 40 count in my stash, I might have done it. I might have made the switch. But I didn't really have anything that mimicked this enough. I really, really love my 40 count long dogs to the point where I am starting to think about my rotation for 2024, and I think it's going to include a monthly 3-day rotation on a long dog because I just love long dog stitching. And of the 4 that I have on the go and the 87 million that I have on the to-do list, this is my least favorite because it's on the 32 count. I love that it's bigger. I love that it's bold. I love that the electric blue really sings when it's 2 strands. But I love 40 count stitching. I really do love 40 count stitching. So I'm not restarting. I'm not ordering new fabric. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to keep going. I'm just being honest. Of my 4, this is my least favorite. I think for the other 3 rotations, for the other 3 long dogs that I have worked on this year, I have had a really hard time putting them down after working on them more than I was meant to. And this one, not so much, not so much. But anyway, I'm still happy with the progress. It's starting to look like something. This is a piece that I have already restarted because the first time I started it, I was using a much bigger color palette and it was too confusing, so I reduced it down to just the 2 colors. So this is already its second life. So I'm happy with the progress that I made, and we will see this again next year. And who knows? I mean, maybe it will move up the list the further I get into it. And once I get some $37.99, because I need both of my colors to really get a feel for how this is going to work. So that is Soucis. I finished up the whip goggle on 2 projects, Queen Mermaid and then Soucis. And so then it was time for my new start. And with a bit of a head cold, it wasn't the right time to be starting this, but nonetheless, I was so excited that, head cold or not, I wanted to get it going. So that is living in this project bag. This was made by Crafty Kim, and I bought this at the Stitch New Jersey retreat. I thought this was a pretty perfect bag for my Anne Woodall 1847. So this is Anne Woodall 1847 by Smoky Mountain Stitches. And what I discovered is that Smoky Mountain Stitches has an Etsy shop where you can buy their charts in PDF. And they work in Pattern Keeper. So that was just really, really exciting for me. If there's a chart that works in Pattern Keeper, like, I don't know, it's my favorite. The only part that doesn't work is the ground on which the white stag is laying on. Yeah, I would suppose you would call that long satin stitch, and that's obviously not going to work in Pattern Keeper, but everything else is in cross stitch, and all of that does work in Pattern Keeper. Except for the wording. The capital letters are over 2, everything else is over 1, and so that gets a little funny in PK. But anyway, I was so excited. I hope you can hear my kiddo running around in the background. So I was really excited to get this started, and I started up here with this leaf, and then I wanted to work my way over to this flower. And what I really wanted to do was finish that flower and get started on one of the blue ones. But I didn't get to the blue one. So this is the color palette. And it's a lot of greens and browns with some bright pinks and some really good blues. I really like the blue shades that they've picked for this one. So very exciting. It is charted in DMC, Anchor, and a Versoix. I'm pretty sure that cover model was done in a Versoix because my colors look a little different. I'm not mad at it, they just look a little different. My flower looks more red than it does pinky, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. So my fabric, I'm so excited about this. So my fabric is 40 count Newcastle linen in seaweed by Fox and Rabbit. And it is so good. It is so good. It's a little bit richer than that. It's a little bit darker than that. But anyway, I love it. It is turning out exactly how I had envisioned it in my mind. I thought that on the neutral fabric that those flowers glowed, and I thought that they would look really excellent on a darker fabric. And I was right, so yay me. And yeah, I'm pleased with it. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I think I spent 3 days on this. I was only supposed to spend 2. I don't really have time to be spending extra time on new starts, but I had made so little progress on the first 2 days that I thought it was worthwhile to spend an extra day and just get at least the big pink flower done. and set me up for getting to work on the blue flower next time, whenever that may be. So here's something kind of interesting. There's stitches missing. So either whoever did the model added extra stitches, or it didn't quite make it to the chart, or something. I don't know. But there are some stitches missing. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this leaf right here is outlined in 543. On the chart, it's only that little bit that's got the brighter outline. So that's interesting. So I'm not sure what my plan is for that. So this other thing that I noticed is that on the model, this leaf is complete. It's got that extra bit right there. And on mine, on the chart, it stops right there. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna make up some stitches and fill that in to complete the leaf. It's like part of it just wasn't charted. And it's the same on both my new PDF as well as this hard copy that I have, that I bought at Needleworkers a couple years ago. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this is not like a common theme for the whole chart. If you want to stitch this, just be wary. There's some things going on. I might just complete the outline of that leaf. The same is true for the flower here. There's like some missing border bits of ecru around the flower. So I don't know. There's some things. I think that it might not be as noticeable on the neutral fabric, just because I'm sure it's meant to be more shadow than actual outline. So perhaps it's the fabric choice that makes it so noticeable. So anyway, so that's something to consider the next time that I work on this. I love it. I finally found my groove with the flower, and it just zoomed, and it's good. It's good. And Fox and Rabbit linen, I think this is my first time stitching on Fox and Rabbit. Oh, it's good. It's really, really good. So that is Anne Woodall, 1847. So at this point, it's worth noting that the new starts train, all aboard. I am all about the new starts, it would seem. I'm doing a lot of starting these days. And so I have another new start planned for tomorrow. So we'll get to that in a minute. So I finish up my rotation on Anne Woodall with the knowledge that I'm having this new start tomorrow. So that's a day and a half. It's Thursday evening and today. And so I could have kept going on Anne Woodall, but if I'm being honest with myself, looking at the calendar, it being the 22nd of September, we've got like a week-ish left of the month. And as much as it feels like I have done a lot and accomplished a lot of my WIPCO goals, it's really not a lot. So I don't really have the time to have another new start, but I'm gonna, or spend extra time on Anne Woodall. And so I decided to pivot to another project that I thought I could get my goal done in this mini rotation, this day and a half. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get my goal done by the end of tonight, but that's okay. I may continue working on it tomorrow morning, depending on how close I am, but we'll see. So that project in question lives in this project bag here. This is a bag by Hillside Rookery. You've seen this bag a lot this year. And in here lives my Glory of Autumn by Dimensions. So pretty timely, considering tomorrow is the first day of fall. And this is my piece that I have broken up into 12, and I am working on towards the finish by the end of the year. This piece, according to my records, and from this time, my records aren't exact, but this project's 8th birthday is in October. 8. So that's a long time. And so it's time to finally get this piece done. This is my last project from 2015. And so my 8-year-old is gonna finally get done. So that is the project in question. I started working on this last night during TV time, but I didn't do a whole lot of stitching during TV time. And so I have made some progress, and you're not gonna see any before and afters on this because I will just do that next time once I complete the rotation. But I've been working in the water here and the reflection of the building. Lots of half stitch and lots of kind of long stretches of color. So that is where I'm up to. The bottom of my section is this pale blue line here. That's the bottom of my section, so I've got to get all the way across. So that's quite a bit of work. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that done by the end of tonight. We'll see. I have a lot of threads parked, and so that tends to help me move a little faster. But I also have some 6-stranded half stitch, and that tends to slow me down. Moving 6 strands through this linen is not great. Speaking of which, the linen is a 28 count antique white cashel. It is not the kit fabric. The kit fabric is an Aida, but I chose to sub it out. I am using the kit threads unless I have run out. And so that is the progress I have made so far. So we're leading into plans, but like I said, I'm going to continue working on Glory of Autumn through tonight. And if I get my goal done, great. If I don't, then I will work on it first thing next week. So let's get into this weekend. Tomorrow is the first official day of fall. It is the autumnal equinox, and I am so ready. I am so ready for it to be fall. Because we have this tropical storm-like weather moving in, it's going to be a very rainy day. For us, we are pretty far inland, and so we aren't going to see any of the strong wind gusts or anything like that, but it's going to be a pretty gloomy, pretty rainy day tomorrow, and it's forecasted to be in the 60s. So I'm going to have myself a little stitchy day, and I thought to celebrate the start of autumn, arguably the best season that there is, I'm going to have a new start, and I'm going to have a really special new start. So this is a piece that has been pseudo kitted up for some time now, and it lives in this project bag. This is a Molly bag, and it used to house my Witches of Salem, and immediately after finishing Witches of Salem, this piece went into it because it's pretty perfect for Autumn Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. Perfect bag, right? I mean, yeah, those two were made for each other. So I am going to be starting this tomorrow, and I already have my needle minder there, so I'm really excited about it. I have in here some fabric picked out. This is 40 count Newcastle linen in rain washed bi-coloring cotton, and I think that that's pretty perfect. I also think I have a piece of the called for Steinbeck somewhere in my stash, so that's pretty cool. Heads up, Hello from Liz Matthews has an Etsy shop, and she sells PDFs, and they work in Pattern Keeper. So anyway, I'm really excited to get this started tomorrow and see how much I can get done tomorrow. I may continue working on Autumn Cloche through Sunday, just because there won't be a whole lot of stitching time on Sunday. We've got family reunion, unless the weather changes things, but nonetheless, yeah, I think I'll work on Autumn Cloche on Sunday, and then get back to the things that I need to work on in this last week of September, starting on Monday. So that may be Glory of Autumn to finish up the rotation. It may be a whip go, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. I'm not going to spin anything. I'm not going to pull anything at this point. It's just a few days away. So there is that. Okay, so let's talk about a further out plan, so that if you want to join, you have time to start getting ready. I'm going to have a new start on Friday the 13th. It's October Friday the 13th, it's like a holiday. At least it is. At least it is for me. I love Friday the 13th, especially when it lands in October. It's just perfect. So I'm gonna have a new start, partly because I really, really want to start it, and partly to sort of channel my sadness slash low-key jealousy at missing out on Stitch New England, because I had to cancel Stitch New England. So for those of you that I was supposed to see at Stitch New England or meet at Stitch New England, I am so sorry, but I had to send that email to Pam a couple weeks ago and cancel my spot. It's for some personal reasons. It's for some personal stuff going on. I'm really sorry to do it. I'm really bummed, but I'm really hoping that if Pam hosts one next year in 2024, that I can make that happen. But it's just not in the cards for this year. And so I'm gonna have this new start on Friday the 13th to celebrate the day, and also because I'm sad. I'm not gonna be at the retreat. So this new start in question is, of course, Haunted House by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Donna Gelsinger. I have no business starting another full coverage, but I'm gonna anyway because I'm really excited about this one, and it's never gonna get done if I never start it. And I'm gonna enjoy it start to finish. I just know that I am. So, okay, so we have the WIPCO draws are happening on Monday. On Monday morning, I will do the WIPCO draws. So in my next video, I will be able to talk to you about what WIPCO looks like for me in October. It's looking like I am gonna carry like 6 past WIPCO pieces into next month. So I'll have 12. I don't know if catching up is feasible, but we'll try. I'll try. So there is that. Okay. So let's switch to our final topic for the day, and we're going to talk about some haul because I have just a little bit of stash to share with you. So this came a lot faster than I thought it was going to, which I am not mad at whatsoever. So I placed an order with XG Designs because while I was working on Spring Quaker last week, I thought that fabric would be an excellent substitute for my Anton Offendel. And so I placed an order with XG Designs for another piece of it, as well as something else. So what's interesting is that color for Spring Quaker is called Little Bunny. And this is Little Bunny. And it's significantly darker than the Little Bunny for my Spring Quaker. So the dyes have changed, or something has changed. It doesn't matter because this is a beautiful linen, and so it will get used, but I think it may be too dark for Anton Offendel. It's not showing up accurately there. There, you get a better idea of how dark this fabric is. So because ordering fabrics online, you're subject to different resolutions and whatnot, online shopping. So I ordered a piece of baby sheep, and that is closer to what my Little Bunny is for Spring Quaker. It's a very soft kind of buttercream yellow color. So either there was a mislabel going on, you can see the difference there. Either there was oh gosh, her fabric smells so good. Excuse the distraction. Either there was a mislabel there or the dyes have changed. Who knows? I'm not bothered by it. Baby sheep or Little Bunny, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful fabric. And so I think that this is what I'm going to eventually restart Anton Offendel on, because I think it's a little bit warmer than just straight Zweirach cream, but also not too dark. So that's all I've got for haul. I did get the PDF of Autumn Cloche, just to have that for Pattern Keeper because I love Pattern Keeper. But that's it for the haul, and that is likely to be all of the haul that I'm going to have for a while here. I just have so many whips and so many things in my stash that I want to work with. I'm pretty good with with what I've got right now. So that's everything that I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for your continued support of me and my channel. I just appreciate you guys. I so love getting to come and chat stitching with you all. I really love getting to chat with you in the comments, and so just thank you for your time. So I'm gonna head off and get to editing, get this posted for you all. As always, be kind, happy stitching, and I will see you